Respect starts when you validate yourself and stop depending on other people's approval. You cannot earn true respect if you keep holding on to habits that pull you backward. We live in a world that constantly tells us to please others, to be what they want us to be, to act a certain way so we can be accepted. But if you want to earn respect, real respect, not the fake smiles and shallow applause, you need to strip away the habits that keep you small. You need to stand in your power even when it's uncomfortable, even when the world questions your worth. One of the biggest habits that destroy your chance to earn respect is the habit of seeking validation. When you let your self-worth depend on someone else's opinion, you become a puppet, constantly performing, constantly begging for approval. You cannot command respect if you do not respect yourself first. You have to validate yourself, tell yourself that you are enough, that your dreams matter, that your voice deserves to be heard. Only then will others begin to respect you, because you teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. Another habit that must go is the fear of failure. We all fail. I have failed more times than I can count, but those failures shaped me. When you are scared to fail, you play safe, and when you play safe, you become invisible. You cannot earn respect by hiding in the shadows, by shrinking yourself so you don't upset anyone. You have to be willing to fall flat on your face and get up again with dignity. People respect the warrior spirit, not the one who hides behind excuses. Then there is the habit of gossiping and pulling others down. You don't build respect by stepping on others. You build it by lifting yourself and lifting others when you can. When you talk behind people's backs or spread negativity, it shows insecurity. People might laugh with you in that moment, but deep down they lose respect for you. Speak with integrity. Let your words heal, not harm. The next habit you must let go of is procrastination. Respect is built through consistency and discipline. When you delay your dreams, when you keep making excuses, you show the world that you cannot be trusted with your own goals. How can someone respect you when you don't even show up for yourself? Be the person who keeps promises, especially the promises you make to yourself. Lastly, stop comparing yourself to others. We all have our own timelines, our own struggles, our own victories. When you measure your worth against someone else's highlight reel, you diminish your own journey. You lose focus on your purpose. Respect comes when you own your path completely, when you celebrate your progress and keep moving forward no matter what. It is not about being the best compared to someone else. It's about being the best version of yourself every single day. Earning respect is not an overnight achievement. It is a result of small, daily decisions to choose courage over comfort, growth over stagnation, authenticity over pretending. You become unstoppable when you choose to remove these habits. You walk into rooms and people feel your energy. They see a person who stands tall not because they are perfect, but because they are real, honest, and fearless. And that is when true respect follows you, without you even asking for it. The first thing you have to let go of is seeking validation from the outside world. You cannot keep living your life based on what others think of you, or whether they approve of your choices. When you constantly look around waiting for someone to say good job, or you're worthy, you give them the power to control your mind and your future. You shrink yourself to fit their expectations, and you betray your own heart in the process. True respect is born from self-respect, and that starts when you decide that your opinion of yourself is the only one that matters. When you believe you are enough, when you celebrate your own victories, when you accept your flaws and love your strengths, you teach others to respect you without needing to demand it. You are not here to perform for anyone. You are here to live your truth boldly and unapologetically. The second habit you need to throw out is the fear of failure. We've been conditioned to think that failure is something shameful, something to hide or avoid at all costs. But in reality, failure is a badge of honor because it means you tried, you dared, you stepped into the arena when most people only stand on the sidelines and judge. Every setback is a lesson that pushes you forward. Every mistake is a stepping stone to growth. People don't respect perfection. They respect the warrior who falls and rises again and again, stronger each time. If you want to earn respect, show the world that you are not afraid to take risks, to be vulnerable, to expose your scars. Because those scars tell a story of courage, resilience, and unbreakable spirit. Another habit that destroys your chance at real respect is gossiping and bringing other people down. When you talk behind people's backs, spread negativity, or try to make others look small, it doesn't make you look big. It only exposes your insecurities and your lack of inner strength. People may laugh with you for a moment, but deep down they lose trust and respect for you. True power is silent, focused, and kind. You gain respect when you support others genuinely, when you celebrate their successes without envy, and when you keep your words clean and uplifting. Your energy speaks before your words do, and if your energy is filled with bitterness and jealousy, people will feel it. Choose to be known for your integrity and your loyalty instead. Finally, stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Comparison is a poison that kills your self-worth and steals your peace. You look at someone's highlight reel and think they're ahead of you, better than you, more successful than you, but you don't see the sacrifices, the tears, the lonely nights behind their success. You forget that you have your own unique path, your own timing, your own definition of success. When you let comparison guide you, you abandon your own authentic story. People respect those who stand firmly in who they are, who own their journey with pride, who are not afraid to be different. You don't need to be like anyone else to be respected. You need to be fully, fiercely yourself. The moment you stop looking sideways and start looking within, you become unstoppable, and that is when real respect flows to you naturally. You said, stop seeking validation from others because it is the fastest way to lose your power. From a young age, we are taught to look outward for approval. We wait for our parents to clap, our teachers to praise us, our friends to accept us. Slowly, this becomes an addiction, an invisible chain that ties us to other people's opinions. You wake up thinking about what they want you to be, what they want you to say, how they want you to live. And every time you choose to please them instead of following your own truth, a part of you dies inside. You cannot build respect on borrowed opinions. Respect is earned by standing up for yourself, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it means disappointing people who expect you to be someone else. When you depend on validation, you are like an actor waiting for applause at the end of every scene. You change your script based on the crowd, but deep inside, you know you are not living your own story. That is not living, that is performing. And performers might get claps, but they don't get respect. Respect comes when people see you standing in your truth without needing an audience. When you validate yourself, you create an unshakable foundation. You become the source of your own joy, your own strength, your own identity. I have seen people sabotage their biggest dreams because they were too scared of what others would say. They stay in safe jobs, toxic relationships, or small cities just to be accepted. But at what cost? The cost is your soul, your freedom, your possibility to grow into the person you were meant to be. Every moment you spend doubting yourself because of someone else's opinion is a moment wasted. When you learn to stop asking for permission to be yourself, you unlock a power that no one can take away from you. Think about the people you truly respect. Do you respect them because they tried to please everyone? No, you respect them because they had the courage to be different, to stand out, to speak up. They didn't wait for someone else to tell them they were enough. They decided they were enough on their own. And that decision is magnetic. It pulls respect towards you effortlessly. Validation is temporary. One day they love you, the next day they criticize you. If you live by their praise, you will die by their criticism. When you choose to validate yourself, you become free from this endless roller coaster. You realize that your worth was never meant to be measured by likes, claps, or opinions. You start living life on your own terms, guided by your own values. So stop seeking validation today. Choose yourself, approve of yourself, celebrate your victories no matter how small. Forgive your failures and learn from them without needing an audience. When you truly respect and validate yourself, the world will eventually follow. Because people always mirror the energy you carry inside. And when they see someone who doesn't need approval to feel powerful, they can't help but respect that strength. Let go of the fear of failure, because it is the biggest barrier between you and the respect you deserve. We grow up hearing that failure is something to be ashamed of, that it is a sign of weakness or a lack of talent. But failure is not a curse. It is the most honest, powerful teacher you will ever have. When you avoid failure, you avoid life itself. You play it safe, you stay in your comfort zone, and you watch your dreams fade into distant fantasies. The people who are respected the most are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who failed, fell hard, and still stood back up with a fire in their eyes. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you tell the world you are not ready to grow. But growth only happens when you are willing to take risks and embrace uncertainty. You can't earn respect by hiding behind excuses or waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. You must create it by stepping forward even when your knees are shaking, even when your heart is full of doubt. When people see you daring to fail, they see your courage. They see that you value your dreams more than your fear, and that is when true respect begins to grow. I have faced so many failures in my own life. There were roles I didn't get, auditions I bombed, people who doubted my potential. Each rejection felt like a punch in the gut. But I learned that every failure was shaping me, building my resilience, sharpening my focus. Without those failures, I would never have become the person I am today. Failure strips you down to your rawest, most authentic self. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, to learn, to adapt, to rise stronger. It teaches you humility and reminds you that nothing great ever comes easy. People respect those who dare to dream big and risk falling. They don't respect the ones who play small and hide behind a mask of perfection. When you show the world that you can take a hit and keep moving forward, you become unstoppable. You show them that setbacks don't define you, your comeback does. That is where respect is born. Stop letting the fear of failure hold you hostage. Stop overthinking and start acting. Fail fast, learn faster, and move forward with your head held high. Every scar you earn along the way is proof that you were brave enough to try. And the moment you stop fearing failure, you become free to create, to explore, to become the boldest version of yourself. Respect doesn't come from how many times you win, but from how gracefully you lose and rise again. So take that leap, write that book, start that business, audition for that role, speak your truth. Even if you fail, you will have earned more respect than the ones who never had the courage to try. Because in the end, respect is given to those who live fully, not those who live carefully. You need to stop gossiping and pulling others down, because that habit silently destroys your character and any respect you hope to earn. When you spend your energy talking about other people's flaws, criticizing their choices, or laughing at their failures, you reveal more about yourself than you do about them. Gossip is a mirror that reflects your own insecurities, your fears, and your lack of focus on your own growth. People who gossip think they are gaining power or control, but in reality, they are shrinking their own value and credibility. When you speak badly about someone behind their back, even if the people around you laugh or agree, deep inside they are making a mental note. If you can do it to someone else, you can do it to them too. They stop trusting you, they stop respecting you. Real respect cannot survive in an environment of negativity and betrayal. True leaders, true warriors, true artists, they don't have time to waste on tearing others down because they are too busy building themselves up. They understand that every minute spent judging someone else is a minute stolen from their own journey. I have seen this so many times in my life and career. People think they can climb higher by pushing someone else down, but that only leaves them standing on a pile of broken trust. The universe has a way of reflecting your energy back to you. If you put out negativity, you will get negativity in return. If you spread poison with your words, it will come back to you in ways you can't even imagine. But when you speak with kindness, when you choose to lift others up, when you celebrate their wins as if they were your own, you create a magnetic energy. People start to see you as someone strong, confident, and secure, someone worthy of real respect. Speaking positively about others, even when they are not in the room, shows integrity. It shows that you are not threatened by their success or their presence. It shows that you have enough confidence in yourself, that you don't need to tear someone else down to feel powerful. That kind of integrity builds a reputation that no one can touch. When people hear your name, they feel safe, inspired, and uplifted instead of anxious or defensive. If you want to be respected, make a conscious choice today to stop gossiping and criticizing. Use that energy to work on your own goals, to learn new skills, to heal your wounds, to push your own boundaries. When you rise, you inspire others to rise with you, and that is a legacy far more powerful than any cheap thrill gossip can give you. You become the person people trust with their secrets, the person they look up to in hard times, the person they want to stand beside when they win and when they lose. That is true respect earned, never demanded. So choose to be the light, the encourager, the builder, and watch how the world starts to respect and admire you without you even having to ask. Stop comparing yourself to others, because comparison is the silent thief of joy, confidence, and self-respect. From the moment we open our eyes in the morning, we are bombarded with images of other people's lives. We see perfect photos, big achievements, expensive vacations, and flawless bodies. We start to measure our worth against these carefully curated highlights, and slowly we begin to feel small. We start thinking we are behind, that we are not good enough, not talented enough, not beautiful enough. This endless comparison is a trap, and it keeps us from realizing the incredible power and uniqueness we already have inside. Every person has their own journey, their own timing, and their own struggles. You don't know the sacrifices someone else has made to reach where they are. You don't see the failures, the heartbreaks, the silent nights of doubt and pain. You only see what they want you to see, the polished, bright moments. When you compare yourself to that, you are comparing your raw, unfiltered reality to someone else's highlight reel. And that is not only unfair, it is dangerous. You lose focus on your goals, your growth, and your happiness. You start living someone else's dream instead of creating your own. When you choose to embrace your own path, something magical happens. You start seeing your progress clearly. You celebrate small wins instead of ignoring them, because someone else is doing more. You find gratitude for your journey, the slow days, the setbacks, the moments when you almost gave up, but didn't. You begin to understand that your life is not a race. It's a personal masterpiece in progress. Respect is born when you honor that masterpiece, when you stand tall and say, "This is my story, and I am proud of it." People respect those who are rooted in their own identity, those who don't need to copy, imitate, or outshine anyone else. They admire authenticity because it is rare in a world obsessed with comparison and competition. When you stop comparing, you free yourself to fully become who you are meant to be. You explore your strengths, nurture your passions, and live with a sense of freedom that inspires everyone around you. You become magnetic, not because you are trying to be better than someone else, but because you are simply being your truest, boldest self. Comparison distracts you from your blessings. It makes you blind to the beauty of your own life. You forget to be grateful for the things you once prayed for. When you stop comparing, you return to yourself, and in that space you find peace. You start to move from a place of purpose instead of pressure. You start to focus on what makes you come alive. That energy cannot be faked and it cannot be ignored. It demands respect without you ever having to ask for it. So today, choose to put the focus back on yourself. Celebrate your uniqueness, own your story, walk your path with confidence and pride. That is how you earn the deepest, most authentic respect, first from yourself and then from the world. Here's a powerful conclusion in Priyanka Chopra's motivational style, about 300 words, no headings or brackets. At the end of the day, earning respect is not about impressing the world or playing by someone else's rules. It is about honoring your own truth so fiercely that people can't help but feel your power. When you stop seeking validation, you finally hear your own voice. When you let go of the fear of failure, you unlock your boldest self. When you stop gossiping and tearing others down, you rise above smallness and walk with real integrity. And when you stop comparing yourself to others, you discover your true magic and embrace your own unique journey. Respect is not a gift someone hands to you. It is something you build brick by brick, moment by moment, decision by decision. You can't demand it, you can't fake it, and you definitely can't shortcut it. It flows to those who live with authenticity, who dare to fall and get up stronger, who speak with kindness and act with courage. It is given to those who stand alone without shaking and walk their own path with their head high, even when the world doesn't understand them. Remember, you are not here to blend in or become a copy of someone else's idea of success. You are here to leave your own mark, to inspire others simply by being fully, fearlessly you. So choose to remove every habit that keeps you small. Choose to step into your power every single day, because when you respect yourself first, you teach the entire world how to respect you in return. And that is the real victory, living so boldly and so honestly that respect follows you like a shadow without you even asking for it.